Yeah, the surprise is the absolute quality and quantity of incredible whitetail bucks.
He's posing.
Yeah, they're rubbing. I mean, that's more than just a 2-point once a day. They're wearing that post out. I think he's going to pose.
There he is. All right, here we go.
Winchester's Whitetail Revolution is brought to you by Winchester Ammunition, the American Legend, Code Blue, perfecting the science of hunting, Winchester Repeating Arms, the guns that work, Redfield, the soul of the American hunter, and by Browning, the best there is. No matter where your hunting road has taken you, chances are it'll eventually lead to whitetail.
We are currently in northeastern Montana, headed further northeast. We're going to try to go over in the Saco-Hinsdale area and do a whitetail hunt. Now, I've been hunting for over 50 years. I grew up in the West, always hunted mule deer. I'm enamored by those monster horns, and I have never, ever put my sights on a whitetail deer. And I know it's what the world revolves around as far as America is concerned, and big game, the #1 thing out there is whitetail bucks, but I've never done it.
Having, known that he'd never hunted whitetail ever, I was afraid maybe he's going to be a little too antsy, maybe want to kill out too quick and not experience and see everything that there is to see, and just wait for that just right buck.
One of the things about life that I really think is neat is the new experiences. And I'm about to have one. But as I understand it, I think it's going to be spot and stalk, which is my kind of deer hunting. I sure hope we're not going to be in a tree. I don't want to fall out of a tree. I'm too old.
Well, I learned right off at Darrel and Tree Stand, you're probably not gonna put those words in the same sentence very often.
It just took a few minutes to confirm that the gun was still shooting, and off we went. And we had, I think, an hour and a half of daylight. Down the river we went. We weren't gone 5 minutes, and we were looking at nice whitetail bucks.
And when I see their excitement, see them jacked up, it just keeps the fire burning, keeps me, maybe young at heart, and keeps that fire stoked.
And in the next hour and a half, we saw like 15 bucks, nice bucks. Stuff that was bigger than I really even thought I was going to shoot on this trip. And we hadn't even gotten started yet. It's got to be a pretty decent buck to see horns from here.
Yeah, he is a good deer. And we'll put a spot and scope on him and get a better look here in just a second. There are big bucks. Just don't get antsy and pull the trigger on the first, nice framey 8 you see. There's a little patience. You'll find a good mature deer and give those small young bucks a chance to grow up. We just spend a lot of hours glassing and looking and hope to get lucky.
That's kind of my style of deer hunting anyway, being an open country mule deer hunter. You got a superb view here for miles.
Right.
And you can walk a long way behind a big lens.
Yes, you cover a lot of country.
And when you're my age, that works really well.
You got to take the work out of it a little bit.
That's right. It works. It's great. Do some more. See, you got me convinced now.
We're just going to keep riding
and
touring.
Now you're raising my expectations.
That's a good thing. That's our job.
Well, you're doing it good so far.
Outstanding.
All right. I made my living waterfowling for over 20 years. I hunted geese for over 40 years, still my recent retirement. But the trophy hunting is what's fun. when I hunt geese, they're virtually all the same size. They're all the same thing. You just shoot the birds that are in front of you. Whereas we're taking a strong look at every one of these bucks, and that's the thrill, that's the excitement. And in fact, the country I'm looking at, I've walked a lot of those hills and a lot of miles in those hills hunting mule deer and antelope. And it's kind of a real soft spot in my heart, this part of Montana. It's so special, and I think the deer really, really outnumber the people.
Me and my brother run Milk River Outfitters here. We're fourth generation, family owned farm and ranch. And we're just very selective about the deer we shoot and like to pass on a lot of deer. And I guess that's probably our #1 strategy is leave some seed stock for next year. We offer a variety of hunts: whitetail, antelope, mule deer. We do a number of mule deer hunts, from the rough breaks to the prairies and antelope. The whitetail hunts will be anywhere from creek bottom to ranging out in these vast prairies. And if you kill out the first day, there's coyote hunting. We have the prairie dog hunting, as aforementioned. Waterfowl in the form of geese and ducks and upland bird, pheasant, that sort of thing. Can all be into a package hunt, or as just an added bonus, maybe for an afternoon, just to kill sometime after they're done with their main objective. Once November rolls around and those temperatures drop and the leaves are falling, it gets cold and those bucks start thinking about females.
The deer are moving around all day long, and the bucks are chasing does.
Washington State waterfowler and mule deer hunter Darrel Wise is on the trail of his first whitetail in northeastern Montana.
And I've hunted on foot for over 50 years, and I just like to get down on the ground with those deer and go find them instead of having them come to me. I guess I don't have the patience. I'm the kind of a guy that likes to look into the next canyon. If he's not in that one, I want to look into the next one. If he's not in that one, I want to go to the next one.
While Albus and Wise look for their whitetail, Mike Hanbeck knows one hunter who already found his on this buck of a lifetime.
One day last October, Scott O'Connick and his wife Susie hunted Camp Ripley Training Base in Minnesota. The goal of the 2-day lottery hunt was simple: get Susie a deer. And Scott had a good spot picked out. But they got there and found other hunters in the area. Okay, on to plan B. Scott set Susie up in another area, then he took his climber and went to hunt about 100 yards away. Scott started to see deer as the morning wore on. A doe crossed about 120 yards out. That caused a giant buck to stand up. When I saw him, I knew he was something real special, Scott told me. The buck moved closer, then vanished in brush. Would Scott ever see him again? 10 minutes passed. Then there he was, quartering away at 44 yards. Scott had one chance and he made it count with a perfect arrow. Scott stood with the buck for 45 minutes, awestruck. Susie came and joined the celebration. She said it was so inspiring to see that beautiful work of nature lying in the woods with a grown man crying over it. Now that is the raw emotion of hunting, my friends. The 33-pointer with that ginormous brow tines net scored 227 3/8. By the way, it's a new Minnesota archery record.
Learn more about Mike Hanbeck's Bucks of a Lifetime at Versus.com. These whitetail bucks have one thing in mind, and luckily for Darrel Wise, it's not him.
The whitetails are totally engulfed in rut right now, and so that makes it a little probably easier, given the full attention is on the wives, concubines, and girlfriends.
He's in love right now.
That's so much higher than my expectations were when I started this out, but you've changed everything. I can't believe looking at something like that and going, I don't think so. He's got a broken brow.
We talk to our hunters before they go out and ask them, please be patient and work with us. There are mature deer out there. There are big bucks. He's short-toed.
Nice buck. I think we've seen better.
Yeah, that's just a good deer. That's not what we're looking for.
Jared Albus knows whitetail, and his ability to judge size is uncanny. Hey, you really develop a confidence and a trust in someone like that.
Well, I think the part of this hunt that Darrel's going to enjoy the most is the fact that he is a tried and true mule deer hunter. He likes the open country, you know, spot and stalk. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm hoping that that's the way this hunt turns out.
We saw various things, of course you always do when you're hunting, but one of the things that kind of grabbed at you, we came around the edge of the river and the river was frozen over and there was a doe stuck in the ice.
Got a white-tailed doe that got chased by a coyote that went and crashed through the ice, and it's too thin to hold her weight, so she's trying to make it back to shore.
She was struggling and she was tired. We were wondering if, you know, we weren't going to have to try to rope her and drag her out.
Come on, girl, get out of there. She's gonna make it. She's gonna make it. Atta girl.
Eventually, she stuck with it and made it through.
One of those stories that has a happy ending.
Another thing that was really special about this hunt was Jared's continual history lesson. Showed us places where the Indians had built little rock structures to guide buffaloes to a big cliff.
This here is a little bit of Montana history, American history, stuff that maybe too often gets overlooked and has been made aware to me by my parents, grandparents, great-grandparents. You see how these rocks were piled in a row?
Yeah.
You're still seeing the remains of the rock row here. Many, many years ago, before the Indians had the horses, that's how they killed the buffalo, is they would herd them along these kind of rock barriers, you know, to kind of as a sort of as a bumper to keep them going the direction they wanted. And pretty quick they'd get to the jump and off they'd go.
Really?
As they tumble over those hills, it was busting and hammering and breaking those buffalo up. I mean, they're falling off straight cliffs.
How high do you suppose these piles were in relation to the ground at the time they built them? 3-4 feet?
I would guess a couple, 2 to 3 feet. I'm thinking, yeah, enough that it would, you know, serve as a you know, somewhat of a physical and definitely a visual barrier to the buffaloes that are piling along here. Time is, you know, making it slowly disappear.
Wow, what an effort.
Think of the work that went into that, piling these rocks up for 2 miles. So they did pretty well. A testament to what it takes to, you know, to survive on these arid plains. Then when they started traveling more and got in contact with their southern brothers, brought the horses up, then the buffalo jumps were a thing of the past. Then they learned how to hunt buffalo off a horse. Yeah, they're rubbing, I mean, that's more than just a 2-point once a day. They're wearing that post out. I think we're on the right track here. We'll go put you in a tree stand.
Hey, what? You say what? I thought we had that figured out.
I love the smell of cedar in the morning.
I love the smell of gunpowder.
There you go. Instead of putting you in a tree stand, we'll hike this bank.
I could do that. We made a lot of approaches on different bucks that we had spotted. You know, stalks that some of them worked, and one of the times the issue was the big buck got away, and he was something that's dream material.
Get your sticks. Try and get on that deer. Get over the weeds. Let's go down here a little further, get a better angle. Big buck. Get ready, Darrel. That's a big buck. If we could get on him. He's getting out there. Running pretty hard, Ed. Well, we're fighting the clock right now. We only got about 10 minutes of shooting light left.
What a place.
Well, let's not bump him anymore. We'll come back and look for him tomorrow morning.
I'm with you.
We have to come back tomorrow.
This is exciting.
Can you sleep tonight?
This is the serious stuff. I didn't sleep last night. How am I going to sleep tonight? After more.
Oh, that's frustrating. Don't shoot on the skyline. I think he's going to pose.
Nice buck. There he is. All right, here we go.
Winchester's Whitetail Revolution is brought to you by Winchester Ammunition, the American legend, Code Blue, perfecting the science of hunting, Winchester Repeating Arms, the guns that work, Redfield, the soul of the American hunter, and by Browning, the best there is. It's the Whitetail Revolution. by the dawn's early light.
Didn't hardly get out of the lodge. Spotted a buck. Jared got excited. The hunt was on.
He caught sight of us. You know, we're glassing him in very low light, trying to make up our mind as the sun rises if we're going to make our move through the shelter belt. That's a big buck. He's going to step through this tree, bro. Let's get up here, get through, and try and get another sight on him. Let's go. You know, you're kind of a little hesitant maybe whether you should go after it or not, but this buck was big enough. We knew that we had to go after it.
I went into a little shelter belt and Jared said, let's go. And we can use that shelter belt one to the next, one to the next.
I said, let's just crouch low, sneak across this field using what little bit of advantage we had. Primary advantage being the fact that he was hot on a doe. Just stay low. He's out of our sight. We're below his sight. You take this, stay low behind that grass. Right. He's just watching the doe. All right. Go down the track. Get right up to that fence, and we're in business. Just go up another 20 feet or so. All right, Darrell, stay low, stay low. Good. All right, I'm gonna range him right now. Okay. Scotty, that's nice. That's a big buck. I'm reading 305.
All right. The nicest whitetail I've ever seen.
I'm hearing you. All right, well, let's see if we can put him on the ground.
Excited. I hope I can calm down enough and make the shot.
Well, what we do is we stay low and we stay after him. And there's just a little bit of a berm at the edge of the field where there was a fence. And we worked our way up to that, stayed as low as we could.
Darrell, get a good steady hold. Good steady hold. He's standing there. I think he's going to pose.
There he is.
He hit him.
Is it good?
Packing that offside. He's going down. He's down.
Down.
Outstanding. Clear that gun, Darrell. Outstanding, outstanding. He's down. Just let me get a good look at him, make sure he doesn't want to get back up on us.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere. That's a big crash. Outstanding. Good work, good work.
Thanks so much.
The war whoops and the excitement was on then, because I knew that we had exceeded our expectations and made a dream come true and maybe turned an old mule deer hunter into a whitetail hunter. On the walk up, you're just praying that everything is what you thought it would be. And I told myself this deer should be crowding the 150 class, and oh, what a relief when we get there and I know he hasn't shrunk in my eyes, in Darrell's eyes.
I can tell right now this is so far beyond my expectations.
The closer we got to that deer, the better he looked.
Congratulations.
Oh, thanks. Thank you so much.
Lift that set of horns up. He's perfect in every way. Not a flaw in that deer. Big brows, big mass.
I can't believe this.
Super shot. Well done, well placed.
Same to you.
You're on a roll.
Same to you, thanks.
You're on a roll. My advice is shoot the biggest gun you can shoot well. If you're comfortable with, 270 30-06 and you don't want the recoil of a big heavy Magnum, those guns matched with good bullets are more than adequate. If you're, of the Magnum flare and want to hunt with, the new hot shot Magnums, those will certainly do the trick with a little bit more authority, but just be able to shoot your gun well and put a bullet where it counts, and things will happen just fine.
I think that'll work.
I think that'll work.
Score's not everything, the hunt's everything. But a good score is nice too. Jared rough scored him 150 inches, and that's a dang nice whitetail.
Some lasting memories. We, as an outfitting business, need to, no less than meet, but hopefully exceed those expectations.
Just an incredible
place to hunt deer, whitetail or mule deer. Milk River Outfitters know their business. First class operation, first class hunt, never forget it.
And hunting is a wonderful way to, to connect with individuals from all around the country. They become our friends.
The best part of all is that, you come in here as a client and you leave as a friend. These guys are people that I would love to hunt with anytime. Drop of a hat. Let's go.
All whitetail, all the time.
Take them out. Take them.
On Versus.com and Versus On Demand.